Thanks for the introduction, Alexandros. Today I would like to talk about daytime cleaning, getting your cleaning employees out of the shadows. I performed this study together with Jessica Sauren from the Netherlands Railways and Olaf Knoop from Hago Rail Services, which is the company who cleans our trains. And together we've evaluated how daytime cleaning affects satisfaction and perception of our passengers. First, I would like you to take this question in consideration. Place yourself in the picture below. It might be in the metro from the airport to the city center of Madrid. Would you have been? What would you think of this cleaning lady who passes by, cleans the compartment? Just think about it, take it in consideration. Because most of our trains are cleaned during the night or in the evening. And a pretty old study, was performed in Japan in the Shinkansen bullet train, among the cleaners of those trains, indicated that depression and lack of time to enjoy social events and personal development was more common among nighttime cleaners compared to the people that were working during the day. We wanted to evaluate, because a lot of service companies, including U.A.S, still think that the end users are disturbed by the presence of the cleaners. So we wanted to evaluate to which extent daytime cleaning influences the satisfaction and perceptions of our passengers. Few words about the Netherlands Railways. We daily transport more than 1 million passengers in the Netherlands and more than 1 million passengers in Europe with our daughter company Abellio in the UK and Germany. In the Netherlands, we've launched a strategic improvement program in order to improve the service experience of our passengers, and the goal is to achieve a service experience or satisfaction level of 80% in 2019, which means that 80% of our passengers need to evaluate our services with a 7 or higher. In order to do so, we've identified 9 drivers of satisfaction to make it more concrete. So you can think of those drivers as, for example, cleanliness. The others are hospitality, punctuality, availability of information during the journey. And since we were not able to afford ourselves to keep doing what we were doing, since then we would not be able to get to this score of 80%, several initiatives were employed on all those drivers to improve the customer satisfaction of our passengers. And for cleaning, we've launched this program which was called Care on Track, which was about getting the employees out of the night, out of the evening, putting them in the trains to clean the compartments, emptying the bins, providing information if needed during the journey, in order to positively influence the satisfaction of our passengers. We launched this program almost 2 years ago, and it received a lot of attention. All the major Dutch newspapers wrote about it. It was even on some big news shows. So we were really happy with all this attention. Before I go into more detail about Care on Track and what we have done, I'd like to take you back to some theory. I've talked about the service experience, and we at U.A.S, we think that we are able to influence the service experience of our passengers with 3 variables. First one is the service process, so make our trains go faster, make the cleaning process more efficient. The other one is the environment, so how our stations and trains look. The picture below, you see one of our newest stations, I live close by. It's called Arnhem Centraal. Just a really nice place to be. Great architecture, many shops there. And the last one are the people present, so our staff, that actually are providing the service to our customers. And when it comes to daytime cleaning in FM and service literature, one of my conclusions was that it's quite underexposed. Not much work is done there. See, one study was performed by, two qualitative studies were performed by Whitehead and Watley, and they identified the presence and the appearance of cleaning staff in hospitals as important social cues that positively influence the perception of cleanliness and satisfaction of the people in the hospital. So based on this theory and some previous experience, we come up with this research model. So our hypotheses were that the presence of the cleaners positively influenced satisfaction and some other perceptions, so the perception of staff, comfort, trip speed. And then we went to work, performed an experimental field study in our trains. We made a distinction between two conditions. In the first one, the people of K on track were present. They were just cleaning the compartments, emptying the bins, providing information to our passengers. And in the second condition, they were not there. And this was done on the trajectory, very popular trajectory between Utrecht Centraal and Amsterdam Amstel during off-peak hours. And we've collected surveys. So in the experimental condition with the people of K on track, we almost collected 500 surveys. In the control condition, more than 600. Average age of the participants in this study was 34 years, and there were more females than males. And the people answered questions about the satisfaction, obviously, and some questions about their perceptions of staff, cleanliness, atmosphere, all the variables that were in the research model. And this is what happened. All the hypotheses were significant except for the one about trip speed. I'll show you some numbers. So for example, satisfaction in the control condition was in 7.1. Average on a scale of a 10-point scale. In an experimental condition it was 7.4. Similar thing happened to the perception of staff, which increased from a 5.9 to a 6.5. You can see the other figures on the screen. Another hypothesis, we did not evaluate the effect of daytime cleaning on satisfaction of our staff, but we really think that more satisfied passengers also make more happy cleaning employees. So this is probably a nice one for future research. So to conclude, as you just saw, end users were more satisfied when we moved our cleaning process to the day from the night and the evening, and their perceptions were more positive as well. We performed two similar studies after this one, 6 and 12 months after this study, and the effect persisted, so it was still there. Although I have to say that we are not sure what will happen on the longer term, let's say in 3 or 4 years, when all our passengers get used to the presence of the people of K on track. Some practical implications for NS. The workload was reduced in other phases of the cleaning process since the trains were cleaned during the journey. Also the turnaround time of trains was reduced since the trains came in cleaner than they were. And to me a really important one is that people at NS, but also at Hagen Rail Service, this study contributed to the realization of the people working at NS and the cleaning company that there's more to a perceived cleanliness and satisfaction than cleaning only. It's also about how your staff looks, how they appear, how they behave. So yeah, some recommendations for future research. As mentioned, we're not sure what will happen on the longer term. Another one is, an interesting one is what happens to the job satisfaction and well-being of cleaners when they work during the day compared to the night. And a final one, my personal favorite, which my PhD is about as well, is the effect of environmental stimuli. So what happens when you change the light settings or add some scent to the compartments of the trains. So yeah, this was my presentation. I would like to recommend you all to get your cleaning employees out of the shadows and make your end users more happy. Thanks for your attention.